Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of TPS-TV. I'm Daniel, and yeah, today we're going to do a classic review. We're going to go back to 1986 for Friday the 13th Part 6, Jason Lives. The basic plot here is Tommy Jarvis, of course, previously killing him, Jason Voorhees, in Part 4. He accidentally brings him back to life because, of course he does. And then, of course, now Jason's on a fucking rampage, and Tommy must step up and try to stop it. This movie does kind of hold a very special place for me because this is actually the first, maybe not full movie I've seen or I saw, but this is like my first interaction with Jason Voorhees or any of the Friday the 13th movies. I remember I was probably second or third grade, so like 7, 8 maybe. And I remember I was we were flipping through TV, kids, and my uncle was there, and he, was like, "Hey, Friday 13th's on." Didn't know which one it was. He just like, "It's a Friday 13th." Yeah, and I was like, "What's Friday 13th?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, there's like 8 or 9 of them right now." And I was like, "Whoa, what?" And that intrigued me too because like you gotta remember like when I was a kid. Now, granted, all these shows have been out, but I hadn't had any, I didn't know anything. So to me, like the only movie that had like more than a few sequels was like Rocky, non-horror, stuff like that, or Rambo. I guess at that time would only be 3, but to go past that, it was kind of like holy crap. So it's like, wait, there's like 9 of these things out there, and he's like, yeah. And so I'm watching it, and then I'm just, I just remember asking tons of questions about like, who is this Jason? Of course, he's doing the best he can, kind of fill in some blanks or whatever for me, but just really being pulled into it. And of course, the fact that it's a scary movie. I was a kid, not supposed to be watching stuff like this. It was just like it opened up a whole new world for me. And yeah, it was shortly after that, because I got into the movie pretty late. Like it was almost a finale when I'm watching this thing. So like I knew nothing. Plot, not like that. I just saw the big finale thing. But it was shortly after that I would go on and watch. I would catch Part 5 later on, which really threw me off because Part 5 is the one that really doesn't fit in. It's part of the story, but it's not Jason Voorhees at all. But that I was like fucking crazy. Which I'm not gonna lie, I'm a huge fan of Part 5. Like Part 5 is actually one of my favorites. And then. It would be a little bit beyond that. I would start going to my local video store, North End Video, which is rest in peace, been down forever. But then I would see the shelf that had like all 8. They had all 8 because this is actually this had to be earlier than 2nd grade then because Jason Goes to Hell wasn't out yet. Because I remember that came out and I was super excited and we rented it like the first weekend it came out. So I may have been 1st grade maybe. So yeah, maybe like 6 or 7. But I remember seeing the shelf of all 8, glorious fucking Friday the 13th movies, and I started going through them one at a time, picking them up. And but yeah, this is what kind of started off for me, and once again seeing this psychotic killer in a hockey mask, just laying lace of people. I was like, holy shit! It just really did something in it pulled me to it. So. So yes, that was kind of like my introduction to it myself. Let's get to the actual movie and a review. Over the years, this has become one of my favorite films. However, when I do rank them, like when I rank the Friday the 13th series, it kind of falls in the middle of the deck for me. For me, I love 1, 2, and 4. 5 is huge on my list. I guess 6 would maybe go there. I really like Freddy vs. Jason. I know it's unpopular to say, but I really do like Freddy vs. Jason. But it would fall probably after that. I know 3, everybody, sucks it off. 3 to me is middle of the deck. I know it gets the hockey mask, but beyond that, to me, it's just a very generic whatever. But that's not to say it's ain't a good movie. I said Part 6 is great. And this one, when you go back, you can always find some unintentional humor in all of them, I guess. Especially 5. 5 is so weird. Just, with Violet dancing and Joey trying to offer a candy bar and getting an axe for his trouble. There's so much just goofy weirdness in 5, but like this one is a lot of intentional humor that gets, you know, kind of introduced to the script. And I think that's kind of, that's the one thing that really kind of stands out about this one, that they just kind of go for. Right off the bat, you know, you got the intentional humor, but you also have a very gothic look. And I remember watching this with the commentary on, and what's his name? Tom McLaughlin? That was it? The dude who directed it. He was talking about how you know, he was very inspired by the old, maybe Hammer, but more Universal horror films. Which, you know, there's even a couple references throughout. But, you know, the opening scene in this, like, creepy cemetery, very gothic, and I really like that. But at the same time, you got, you know, fucking Tommy Jarvis and this other dude who's just, you know, he's a bit of a nutbag. And like I said, it comes off kind of funny, but then the best thing, like, I'm not gonna lie, the whole opening is so contrived. Like, it's so ridiculous. Like, we accept it because it's Friday the 13th, and everybody grew up on it, so we're all just like, oh no, it's okay in this movie, it gets a pass. But like, if you were already trying to write another story and do the same thing here, you'd be like, yeah, so fucking contrived. I guess that's pretty fucking sweaty. You had to work pretty hard to get there. Tommy Jarvis, once again, this is the end of the Tommy Jarvis trilogy, if you will. 4, 5, and 6. You know, he's killed Jason. He's been struggling with his demons, haunted by Jason in part 5, if you will. But then, you know, here's 6, and he's gonna finally put an end to. He's gonna put him to rest. And even he, I think, kind of knows like he's dead, but he just wants to make sure, because why not? And so they go to dig up the corpse, and his friend's pretty annoying throughout this whole thing because like the friend knows what they're doing out there. Like, there's no way Jarvis didn't tell him. He wasn't just like, I'm gonna load up the shovels, this gasoline can. Let's go to 4. It's like, no, he knows what he's doing. The whole time, like, he looks in the backseat, he sees all the shit back there. But the whole time, he's just like, all right, you see the grave, you know he's dead, let's go. It's like, really? You think he's just gonna turn around and walk away? And then they dig him up. He's like, all right, that's enough, we can go, right? It's like, what the fuck? Like, you know the plan. But every step of the way, he fights him. But anyways, beyond that, so they open up the casket, and then there's, you know, Jason. But not just Jason, it's like fucking maggot food Jason. And I'm not sure, yeah, I know there's a lot of fans out there, there's a lot of websites, I could have done my research and I didn't. In fact, Simon, my good friend, like, he's, like, this is his franchise. So he knows, like, all the years that has passed between the movies. Because in reality, the movies just came out pretty much 1 year after another. Like, only 1 year has passed since part 5. But in, you know, Jason world, a lot of time has passed. And it gets even more ridiculous past this one, because even though part 7 takes place a year later, there's like a whole fucking, like a little girl has to go swimming out there by Camp Crystal Lake and then grow up, become an adult. So you're talking about a good generation gap between 6 and 7. Like, there's a good 15 years at least that passes there. I don't know. And I've seen the timelines and all that stuff, but I don't know where we're at as far as that timeline goes. Because I know, like, by the time you get to, like, Jason 8, Take Manhattan, I want to say we're in the year 2000 at that point, but, you know, it don't fucking matter because it was made in 88 and whatever, they fucked the timeline. But here, I'm not actually sure where we're at in that timeline. But, you know, he pops it open, there's the corpse being eaten away by maggots, and then the rage comes back. He remembers, you know, and once again, you know, he lost, you know, they say he lost his mom and sister, and I'm like, you know, did his sister survive that one? Like, and I don't remember. As much as I love the franchise, the little details like this do escape me. Like, did they say something happened to his sister in part 5? I don't remember. You guys know, drop that comment down below for me. But either way, she survived at the end of it. She fucking hugs him, and he opens his eyes all wide, Corey Feldman, and we will, you know, roll the credits. So, who knows? But either way, he's rage, and he's just like, I gotta find something to beat the shit out of this dead body with. Instead of just burning the body alive, which is what he's there, or burning the body of the corpse, which is what he's there to do, he's like, instead, during this storm, and there's been lightning and thunder all night, I'll just grab this metal rod. He just like rips the rod off this fence. I've never actually tried to do this, and I mean, I won't deny that maybe this fence was just old, but I'm like, what kind of superhuman strength this guy had? Like, he just popped that shit. I'm sure right now I went to Level Cemetery, or, you know, the one where I always go to film weird little stuff. I'm sure I couldn't just rip the fence off. I'm almost positive I couldn't, but I don't know. I'm not going to sit there and debate that. But he pulls it off, and he just starts like stabbing away at it, and then he just leaves it in there. He's like, fuck it. And he even gets the mask out. He's like, fuck you, Jason. Let's get that final little word. Throws the mask in. He brought the mask with him because, of course, he did. And so, anyways, he gets out, gets the CAT scan, but then lightning strikes because, of course it does. And it strikes the metal rod, which reanimates Jason. The Jason franchise can kind of be broken into two parts. The Jason who's somehow alive portion, which I'll buy some of it, but sometimes you're just like, really? Because didn't he drown? He's a kid. Like, people always pretend like, well, no, in part 6 is when he becomes zombie Jason, but it's like, but he drowned in part, before part 1. Right? Or are they saying like he didn't drown and just ran away and they never found the body, and then Mrs. Voorhees was just like, I have no closure because I didn't see the body. And even though there was a kid running around outside, all, deranged, I'm going crazy. I'm going to kill camp counselors for the, it makes no sense what I'm trying to say. But either way, fuck it. For the sake of this argument, he's been mortal up until 4, even though he has sustained a lot of damage. And then he gets his neck broken in like an axe in the head at one point. God damn. Sure, whatever. But here is finally, from 6 on, it's zombie Jason mode, because now he's reanimated. At this point, I mean, he's never really went back down the grave. That's not true. He went to hell. And then Freddy reactivates him and brings it. God damn. When you say these out loud, this series does seem a little silly, does it not? Anyways, so Jason comes back and he reanimates, and he puts his mask back on, he kills the guy, and then him and Tommy kind of get in a little scuffle, but Tommy gets away. And that sets up the whole movie. And we get a nice James Bond style, and that's when like the tone right off the bat is when they zoom in on Jason's eye, and then you get the James Bond when he'd walk in front of I guess it's like supposed to be like a bullet hole or shutter thing. I don't know. It's a little tube, but you see Bond walk in there and he shoot. Jason does the same thing. He walks through the thing and he slices it, and there's our movie. Jason lives. Like I said, with this movie, they amp up the humor. We get a group of kids, and not really kids. I guess they're young adults. They're past the teenage years. I'm assuming they didn't really specify. All we know is this is back on Friday the 13th. Like the first 4 movies take place over the course of like a weekend or some shit. Once again, I don't have the timeline in front of me. Can't consult it. But then we're back on track. Like now it's Friday the 13th, like officially. And so, anyways, that's not true. Part 1's separate from 2, 3, and 4. 2, 3, and 4 take place like over the course of like a weekend or whatever. But 1 was like a few months or so before 2. Anyway, sorry, getting all sidetracked here. Somebody's always ground the cover when you cover a Jason movie. I'm sorry. So, anyways, we get our kids, and they're all young. And honestly, this is like one of the few batches where like all the kids are for the most part likable. At least I like them. They don't really, with the exception of Court, who's just kind of like the Mimbo man whore who's just trying to get his dick wet. He's just a typical teenage guy. The other 3 girls don't really fall into any kind of stereotypes. And that's usually what you find in all these movies. You got your nerd and your asshole. Sometimes you get the jock. Sometimes the jock and the asshole are the same. You get your just sort of nice guy. And then on the girl side, you get the meeky kind of nerdy girl as well. The slut, the good girl, the mean girl, But here it's like, no, they're all just average. And I think that's what I really like about this group of kids, because, you're not going into hate. And even Court, who is the only one who is just kind of out there, I like Court. Like, I don't know, he has enough charisma for me and personality that I just kind of give him the pass. I'm just like, I like this kid. I think he's awesome. Actively rooting for him, like even after seeing the movie a million times, and he's going to bite it early on, you're like, maybe this will be the time that Court gets away. This is the time Court goes out and gets laid, and then he drives that RV home, and everything's okay. Not the case. But no, all the kids for the most part seem pretty, you root for them. You actually are kind of, they always kind of say like, of every Jason movie or any, slasher movie, you just root for the killer to kill off the kids. And I'm like, I don't agree with that here. I'm not rooting for Jason here, because you got a bunch of likable kids, and then, on the other end of that, you got a bunch of little kids that are actually at the camp. So it's like, for the most part, likable group. Not rooting for Jason in this one. You do get a bunch of the body count goes up pretty big here. Right off the bat, dude wipes out the couple who's I guess running the camp, who never quite makes their destination. They get wiped out pretty early. I always wonder like why didn't you just run him down? Like at that point, I'm just like I'm just saying me personally, I'm driving in the woods by myself with somebody. I don't give a fuck. I'm driving in the woods and I see a tall person in a hockey mask in front of me. Now even if you don't have any recollection of the past. Like she says, the woman driver says, I've seen enough horror movies to know that a weirdo in a mask is, never friendly. And she's like, I'm going to back up. And the guy's like, just drive through him. And I'm like, yeah, granted, it didn't work out good for her. And it's a smaller car, but it's like, yeah, I would have just kept driving. I would have because their problem is they drive and they stop suddenly and they stop in front of him. Just hit him. Like, seriously, I'm talking right now. 1 second here. Hey, sorry about that. Crazy neighbors. So anyways, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely lost my train of thought there. And I'm not reshooting this whole video. I refuse to do that. We'll just pick it right back up. I think I was leading off with the kids and how they're just kind of like a little bunch, even court. Megan herself, I don't think she'll ever go down. I don't think anybody's gonna argue the fact that, she's a great final girl. But I think she's a pleasant one. I don't hate Megan. I think she's very cute and she's a fun character. There's definitely some chemistry there with her and Tommy Jarver. Because, you knew right off the bat they were going to cram these two together. So I think the fact that the chemistry is definitely there, it makes it, work a little more. The other thing I do think is, she does get a little bit whiny at the end. It's funny because, the whole time she's like, I'll defy my father. I don't care, blah, blah, blah. And then as soon as she sees her first, drop of blood, she's like, Daddy, where are you at? And she's running around. The cops, the cop gets locked up. He got away pretty lucky on that one. Every cop gets wasted in this movie. Forest Green, which I guess I should mention that, the town has changed its name from Crystal Lake to Forest Green because they're trying to bury the past, And anyways, that cop who gets locked up in a jail cell after Megan and Tommy escape, what do you think he's gonna do? Does he ever know what happens? From his perspective, wouldn't he just think Tommy killed everybody? He just leave him in there and drop the key. They're gonna have to go back in there and be like, yeah, Dad's dead. 2 other cops are dead. A bunch of teens are dead. All my friends are dead. It wasn't Tommy. I swear it wasn't Tommy. It was Jason. And he's at the bottom of the lake. If you want to go down there, check it out, but I wouldn't recommend it. So yeah, from his perspective, he had a hard on. He was truly hating Tommy Jarver. So it's I don't see him just going, yeah, I buy that. I see him getting what the fuck? I guess the kids will vouch. You got a bunch of kids. I guess you got 30 kids that are just going to be like, yeah, we saw this happen. It won't just be Megan and Tommy's word against it. But still, yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, yeah, the cops, they all bite it. But, as a kid, I hated the cops, the sheriff and everything. But as an adult, I'm just kind of like, fuck it, I get it. Crazy guy comes to my town, Jason Voorhees. I just be like, dude, this town's had enough. Get out of here. Move. So, it's one of those, cynical adult things, but it's just I get it. And I think I really kind of like, too, is, the fact that not only did they change the name of the town, but they try to turn Jason into just an urban legend. They keep telling them, Jason ain't real. It's just it's a myth we tell kids. And it's just holy shit. How much time did pass here? Because, you gotta think, everybody that would be in their 20s would at least remember Jason, or those kids who grew up would be only 20 at this point, maybe a little older. So it's just I don't think enough time has passed, but once again, I don't have that fictional little timeline that, my God. You Jason aficionados out there, hit me up. Let me know the timeline here. How is it believable that people could forget that Jason was actually a killer? Clearly the adults don't. All the adults know. So, do they just assume, at what age are people going to be like, no, Jason's real, and we're not pretending he's an urban legend? What the hell? Where's that cutoff point? When do when are you old enough to remember the murders, and how old are you? What's the oldest that you're going to buy into the hype or the legend, if you will? To go back to the comedy, those 2 cynical kids, I love them. The one kid's what were you going to be if you grew up or whatever? Just, I don't know. They keep cutting back to these 2 kids during all this mayhem. It's just, it's really good stuff. The finale, though, I will say, jokes aside, and like I said, body count's great. It is kind of goofy and comedy. He wipes out a bunch of paintball players early on, but like the ending is a pretty iconic, epic ending. You know, Tommy gets out there on the lake, which I will say, lead up to that is kind of funny. So when he's out of the town, you know, they run him out of town, but then even he's just like, shit, like I know Jason's out there, I gotta stop him, and he's reading all these books about like the dead, you know, life after death, and the occult, and he's like, I mean, I guess in his mind, or maybe he read the book, and if you send them back to their, you know, final resting place, or you know, where they first died, but it's just like, well, then you should have sent him back to the cabin where you, or your house where you stabbed him to death, right? Like that's his final resting place. I mean, I know you guys are trying to count where he drowned, but did we establish that he even drowned? Like at this point, is it assumed that he has survived, and that's why he's not a zombie in 2, 3, and 4? Because guess what? He didn't drown. So to me, it seems kind of odd. Like I'll take him back to the place, but that's the thing. So he reads this occult book, and I'm thinking like, you know, wouldn't he have like a bunch of potions or some kind of brew that he's putting together and some words to chant? It's like, nope. The book that's about the occult tells me to grab a rock and a chain. That's his supplies. Like, I gotta get supplies. Your supplies was a gas can, a chain, and not even the rock. Just a gas can and a chain. He had to find the rock himself. Luckily, there was a big boulder nearby. I've been to a lot of lakes. I haven't seen a boulder that big or big enough where I can roll into the action. Wouldn't be able to get to the lake at all. It's just funny. I feel like, you know, you're expecting this is gonna be some kind of like, you know, Klaus, Veratu, Nikto, something like that. No, it's like grab a chain and throw them into the lake. Thank you, Occult Encyclopedia. So anyways, but he gets out on the lake, and you know he's looking for. And the thing is, like, Jason breaks through a door. And the thing. Let me talk real quick. I'm going all over the place. I'm sorry. I got interrupted through my game plan up. I'm usually kind of scatterbrained anyways. I love Jason's killing method in this movie because he fucks around with these people so much, and you're thinking like if he's a zombie at this point, like, you know, he's reanimated, he never had much personality to begin with, would he not just be all killer, no filler? Like, would he not be like the punk rock version of a serial killer? Like, why the theatrics? So early on, when the couple who run the camp drive up, and then Jason's standing there, and then, you know, the guy comes out and goes to shoot him, and then Jason kills him, and then he tries to kill the girl, and the girl gets out, she's in the puddle, she's like, oh my god, and she pulls out her money, she's like, here, and he's not there. He had a quick kill, he had an easy kill. Slash, you're dead, and he's not there. And then she's, huh, and then jump scare from behind, he jumps down, drops down in the puddle with her, and then boom, rod in her throat. Why did he do that? I want to see the alternate take to this, where she's fumbling, and he's just like, and he sidesteps to the side. He goes around and gets behind her, and he's just waiting. And he's not just right behind her. He's a good little few feet away because he got to drop down, right? So he's just kind of like, we'll wait. And then when she's, and he's like, all right now. He jumps in her, Why? Now, for cinema, I get it. It's a jump scare. But it really makes no sense in the whole logic of this movie. We'll keep going. I guess he has teleporting powers. Fuck it. The video game, he has teleporting powers, so whatever. There's numerous times where he's got the kills easily. He's Jason Voorhees, and he's zombie Voorhees at that. There should be no issue here. But like when Missy and Paula are in the house or in the cabin, and she thinks that, you know, Court is, you know, fucking around. Or, yeah, Court's out there fucking around. And so she pours the soda out, and there. When she looks out, he jumps up, grabs her, pulls her out. And he, you know, snaps her nose, head around, pulls the head off, right? And it's like, okay, so then go kill Paula, right? Like, you're just going to walk in there and kill Paula. And he's like, no. I'm going to leave. And then watch her and this little girl, Nancy, I think is her name, go and try to find the others, and I'm going to follow. And then, even then, I'm not going to kill him. I'm going to wait till she gets back into her cabin. And I'm going to let the door blow first. And then, whenever she realizes it's just the wind, and she goes to shut the door, then I'm going to pop out. It's like, why any of that at all? Court, another good example. So Court is banging a chick in his RV. Nikki, if I'm not mistaken. And Nikki, you know, she's riding him, and she's like wanting him to last at the end of the song, and he's just trying to bust his nut and get out of there, and Jason cuts the power. Now remember, he's Jason fucking Voorhees. He can just walk in there and kill them both right now. What? You know, at least when they're human, or like Michael Myers, when he has to stalk and he's watching people have sex, and he's like, I'll just wait and get him in the kitchen, and I'll come back up here for a sheet on. It's like he's trying to get the jump on because he's a mortal man, supposedly. At least they have that going for it. It's like, dude, you're a fucking zombie, and you've proven it now. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, they have no weapons. They're kids. These are literally just teenagers. But he waits outside, so he chops the power, and then they fight. So then Court comes out to look, see what happened. And you're like, is he gonna kill him now? What's Jason doing at this point? Apparently Jason's on the other side of the RV waiting for then the girl to get out and to follow him out there so that he can sneak in and not just wait for him at the door. No, he goes back in the bathroom and shuts the door. Because he's really wanting to lay low, because he has to have the element of surprise on his side, because these two dumb fucking teenagers who just got him banging, he's got to make sure he gets a jump on, because goddamn, they're dangerous, they can take him down. So he waits. And then they come back inside and they drive. And then he finally snatches one up. But then just like rip her neck off there, he pulls her into the bathroom and then slams her head through the wall. And Court doesn't realize that. This Court thinks she's like masturbating back there. Is that the implication there? Like, are you masturbating in the bathroom? Or are you taking a big dump? Like, I don't know where Court's really going with that, but it doesn't matter. And then he comes out and gets him. And I'm like, why all the theatrics? Yes, it makes for a good scene and it's memorable. And don't get me wrong, I love this movie. It makes zero sense from a psychology standpoint. Once again, today, we're watching this going, every hardcore fucking fan out there right now, all you fucking snarky film fucking critics, like myself, who are watching this going, oh no, it's okay, we let it pass. It's a good movie, it's a good movie. If a movie came out today that was like doing this shit, we'd be like, oh, that's stupid. That makes no sense. Exactly! And we let it slide here. Last example, and then I'll move on to the final fight. So he kills Missy and rips her head off. We've established that. And we still got some movie to go. But then later on the cops show up and they're looking around and he picks off all the cops one by one. Now at this point, Megan and Tommy show up, and so they're looking for everybody, and she already checks on the kids, and they're safe. And then she's like, I'll stay here. And then when she goes back to talk to Tommy, Tommy's like, go radio for help. Make sure there's an ambulance and more cops or whatever. And she goes into the cop car, but what prevents her from radioing, she never even radios, because she sees the head of Missy. She opens the door up and the head falls out, she screams and runs away. Which I'm thinking, the radio still works, but whatever. And I'm not faulting her. I'm not faulting it there. It's a scared girl in the woods, and she just saw one of her good friends' head right there. All right, it's not smart, but it's understandable. I get it. I'd probably scream like a girl and run too. It's okay. But that's not what's bothering me is so those cops didn't show up until after he kills Missy, which means that he ripped the head off, stashed it to his side. We already see him carrying the body. We'll assume, I thought he had a machete in his other hand, but we'll assume he's the machete and he's kind of gripping the hair as well, off camera, and he's just he's lugging the dead body, so he stores them. Cops show up, he picks them off, and then goes, oh yeah, I had that head, I forgot about that head. Alright, we go run put in the fucking car. I'll put it in the car, I'll prop it up on the door. Yeah, because the window was open. I'll just put the head in there. I'll prop it up right here. If someone comes by, it's going to be hilarious. The head's going to fall out. They'll probably freak out. This is great. I'm Jason Voorhees. I'm a fucking zombie. I'm pranking. And he runs away. What the fuck? Whatever. We'll get past that. So anyways, these are just some things I noticed upon watching this thing over the last 20 years. I love this movie. I watched it several times. It just seems kind of odd, certain things that stick out like that. So anyway, we get the final showdown. Tommy's in there. He's in the boat. He's got his boulder. He's got his chain. He's got it ready to go. We're all ready to go. And of course, Jason breaks into the cabin, right? And at this point, he's telling her to get back to the kids. And he breaks into the cabin, and she's like, no. And she runs for the kids, and he's like, don't go. I'm like, granted, it's a stupid move, but her heart's in the right place. She's going to protect the kids. And Tommy Jarvis is clearly like, fuck the kids. Like, fuck. And he's seen the kids. We've already had a shot with him in the cabin with her, the kids, the phone was dead, all that mess. So he knows there's kids in there. And he's just like, Megan, don't go in there. Fuck them. They're dead. The ones that are smart to run away, they'll fend for themselves. But luckily, Jason popped. Again, he's got easy kills here. literally, like Freddy Krueger, if there's kids running in a backyard party, he's slashing anybody gets in his fucking way. Like, he's gonna make the most of this. Jason does it in a cornfield in Freddy vs. Jason. He's just like, all right, bonus round, kill some kids. Michael Myers does it in part 6. Fucking doctors go haywire, fucking strobe lights going on. He's just like, all right, kill all these motherfuckers. Jason has a bunch of kids he can just wipe out. And don't give me this crap like, oh, he wouldn't kill kids. Like, no, he burst in there to kill some kids. And at one point, he was going to hack Nancy up. Because remember, she closed her eyes, she's like, you know, as I lay down to sleep, does a little prayer thing. And then it's noises that attract Jason away. So he was going to hack her up. So don't give me this crap that he wasn't going to hack anybody up. He's going to hack some motherfuckers up. But he doesn't. He leaves them and goes up to her. He's going to kill Megan now. And he's got her up. And then Tommy's like, hey, you pussy over here. And it makes you wonder, like, does he actually recognize him? Like, dude, does the Jason memories, how good are they? Is it just that he knows that he should come back to Camp Crystal Lake and protect his stomping grounds? Does he remember this is the kid who clearly is on his third actor now? So it's like, this guy's not even the, you know, he's not even Corey Feldman, but whatever. This is the guy who killed him. Does he remember this is the guy who also just woke me up from the thing? Like, whatever. But, you know, he's like, come on, you pussy, I'm out here. And he's like, all right, he throws him down, throws her down, goes after him. Just walking right out there. But then she screams, and he's like, oh yeah, you. It's almost like that dog. What was that cartoon? Was it Open Season or Up? Whichever one it was, where like the dog was just like, so then I have to go, squirrel! Like, he gets sidetracked easily. Like, that's Jason Voorhees in this movie. Like, I know he's just to kill somebody, he's just like, oh yeah. Like, nothing prevented him from becoming that little girl. Could be like, oh yeah, there's noise out there. Well, we'll do this first. Ah, I'll kill you. I'm gonna kill all you guys. Who cares? I'm fucking Jason Voorhees. I'm a killer. So here, he's going after Tommy. The girl Megan's like, oh my god, Tommy, get out of there. And Jason's like, oh, you? Well, I'm gonna go after you now. It's like, why? So then he's close. He's literally like 10 feet away from Tommy. He's just like, I'm gonna walk this way. So then Tommy has like, once again, no, Jason, over here. And he's like, oh yeah, it's you. I forgot. I'm killing you now. It's just like, man, I won't drop the R word, but man, Jason's really stupid, right? Like, Jason really is, like, just dumb. Right? He knows how to kill. But even that is like, I don't know, maybe he wasn't this bad before part 6. Like, maybe 4 on back. I don't know. I need to rewatch them very closely and see if, does he do stupid shit like this too? Is he easily taken off his game? So anyways, he goes out there, and of course he goes out there, and then of course Tommy sets the mood by dumping gasoline around there, and then boom, ring of fire on Camp Crystal Lake. Fire, water, boulder, chain. I mean, this is the showdown. Him and Jason struggle, and then he locks it in place, throws him down there. Of course, Jason chokes him out. And then, of course, Megan goes out there. Luckily, that boat, you know, didn't quite sink all the way. I mean, it broke in half. That shit didn't sink down. Luckily, it stayed afloat because we need it for the final finale. And I love that, like, Jason's not even that far down. Like, he's not even deep down in there. Because that boulder has a long chain on. So I'm not saying that the lake isn't deep. But the boulder itself, like, you know, it goes all the way down. Huge chain. And then there's Jason just kind of floating. But then, when Megan is kind of dogpiling out there to get Tommy, he just reaches up and grabs her. So, like, literally, from here, human leg length and part of torso up is the surface. So that's got to be even more infuriating because you're just like, shit, right there's the way out. But he ain't going to drown. He's fucking immortal, so, you know, what's he got to worry about? Anyway, she turns the motor thing and cuts him up, I guess, on the side, which we never do see that kind of damage, I don't think, later on. Like, the mask isn't really fucked up, and you don't really see his neck with a big gaping wound in the side of it, so it's like, I don't know. Doesn't matter, I guess. But then she gets out, and then Tommy's okay, and that's the end of it. And then Jason would come back looking better, but arguably the movies get worse and worse. Like, I like 7. 7's a fun watch. It's just fun to see him fighting Tina and the telekinesis. That's all that movie's got going for it. Like, it really, aside from Kane Hodder and that awesome makeup job, like, dude, his outfit looks killer in part 7. From there on out, the movie's just really rapidly declining. Now, that's saying something. I'm really poking holes in part 6, but, like, goddamn. And Tommy Jarvis never comes back. And I always thought that was a missed opportunity because, you know, we always talk about, you know, even though they're really turning it into lore, which I know you have to now, but it's like, you know, Michael always had Loomis in the Halloween series, especially the first, you know, series. And Jason never really had anybody until Tommy Jarvis. And so I'm not saying we had to have Tommy fight him every time, but you're like, you would have thought that in any of the sequels he would have came back at some point. Like, my God, I'm sure he made the news in Manhattan. Did that news never break back? Did the other killings, Part 7 murders ever, the fact that the 2 people were killed on Crystal Lake in their little yacht, like, did that ever get back? So, I mean, there's still been murders after Tommy left. I guess he's just like, I don't listen to the news. There's nothing but bad news anyways. And I'm sure he's dead. Before, he had to make sure that body was burnt to a crisp, and now he's just like, as long as he's hanging down there by his neck, I'm sure he's fine. No one's going to go down there. No one's swept up. Look, Jesus Christ. So anyways, Tommy leaves the series, and we get a happy ending. And we get Alice Cooper's Man Behind the Mask, which is my favorite actual song, like soundtrack song from a horror movie. Not to say it's my favorite score. There's a difference between like a soundtrack song and the score. I'm saying as far as soundtrack songs go, this has got to be my favorite. I can't think of anything else that really tops it. Except, kind of a lesser known one actually. Alice Cooper also did Prince of Darkness for the movie. Wait for it. Prince of Darkness. And that song's awesome. You only hear it in the movie, I think, for a split second. Like one of the dudes has it on his headphones, but it's not like you don't hear it. Like you hear like it playing softly as he's getting killed or whatever. And I was just like, that sucks. But he's getting killed by Alice Cooper, so it kind of, it bounces out, I guess. But, so yes, that's Friday 13th Part 6. Yes, I'm poking fun at it because, in all reality, I do love this movie. It is a really great movie. I love it. It's just, once again, when it comes to most of the Halloweens, most of Friday 13th, once again, it takes a lot to really make me want to sink the movie. Even the bad Friday 13th, I like. So, like I said, this is middle of the deck for me, but I really like it. Middle of the deck Friday 13th is still better than half the shit's out there right now. Anyway, so let me know what you guys think. This is a fan favorite. Like, this seems to be one that a lot of people will go back to. And when you talk about your favorite Jason movies, or Jason kills, or Jason moments, it seems like Part 6 gets a lot of them. Like, a lot of people come back to this one. Like I said, for the very reasons I mentioned before, whether it's the comedy, or just the insane storylines, or the characters. I mean, there's a lot to like in this movie. So, if you guys like it, let me know down below in the comment section right here. And, yeah, guys, tune in next week. We'll be back with another edition of the TPS-TV. And, yeah, till then. Oh, shit. I didn't know which one. Sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS-TV, Journey Through the Dark Side. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go right there. So be sure to give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh, yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the public domain dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh yeah. So that's all we. Oh my God, sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? Guys, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.